So WWE's next biggest show is going to be Wrestlepalooza. This goes with the launch of ESPN, WWE's partnership, and having the PLEs there in the United States for the low price of $29.99. I'm being very sarcastic with you. But we're doing some early predictions here for the match cards. Some matches we know about and some things they could, maybe they'll happen, maybe not. But the first one, not totally confirmed, likely to happen. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. We only got a couple of dates with Mr. Cena. He just came off of the match with Logan Paul. That was pretty darn good, I must say. I really did enjoy that match. It gives me hope that the Brock Cena match is going to deliver. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be a Brock match. I assume that it would just be a lot of Suplex City. Maybe not. Maybe he'll bust out some old moves. You know what I miss from Brock? I miss when Brock did the triple power bomb. Remember when he did that? He came into WWE and on Raw, it's like his debut. He turned around like Spike Dudley and he just started powerbombing the crap out of him. Do that again, Brock. But Brock versus Cena, that could be the main event for the show. I don't know who goes over. Comment below, please, let me know. But I don't know if you put Cena over against Brock. He's come off of losing to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. He lost the belt. Then he went up against Logan Paul at Clash in Paris, beat Logan Paul. So maybe they want to keep the John Cena momentum. A loss to Brock, it doesn't do anything for anybody in my opinion. Like if Cena loses, I don't see Brock being around that much unless he's going to be a future opponent for Cody again. I think that maybe you want to keep Cena a little bit special and keep the win streak going. I'm gonna say John Cena beats Brock if that match is happening. The next match I assume is going to happen here on the show. I could see it. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Drew's been doing everything possible to beef this feud up as he kicked Cody in the head on SmackDown, laid him out so Cody could be written off TV and I think go do movies. So Cody's doing that stuff and Drew McIntyre's had to be on TV every week talking things up. You got Randy Orton involved, which is very, very fun. But I'd love to see if Cody comes back on the regular basis by the time for the Palooza. I hope that we get a series of matches, multi-month long programs where these two can get in the ring and have a lot of promos, have some matches, tag team matches against each other, and do like a best of 3 series. This is happening at the Palooza. I don't think Drew McIntyre's winning. I'm a big Drew fan. I want to see Drew pick up the belt. I think that he should take down Cody Rhodes. I think he should be Cody's opponent at Mania, frankly, but I don't think Drew will win here. Something will need to happen in order to further this story. Maybe it's going to be the involvement of Randy Orton a little bit because Randy versus Cody is a program I'd love to see. Maybe that is a WrestleMania match or the 3 of them in a triple threat, but I think that you can start bringing Randy in there a little bit more in here, add more tension, kind of like what they did with Cody and Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton was involved in all of that too. Randy eyeballing the title. Maybe now they could do similar thing. You got the big nasty Drew McIntyre. Maybe he could put Randy on the shelf for a bit and then Cody has to avenge Randy Orton. But I'd love to see this program go for a long time, maybe end it in a DQ or something and Cody ends up retaining. So Cody's gonna retain the belt though at Palooza if he's there. The next match we do know about, it is confirmed, it is official, as Adam Pearce would like to say. And from Adam Pearce himself, we are going to be getting Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacated Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Naomi threw the belt down. She said goodbye to it because she goes and has baby, so that will happen. And then we're gonna get a brand new champion crowned at Wrestlepalooza. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong, but I swear on Raw they did say Roxanne Perez could maybe get added to the match. She was in a backstage thing with Adam Pearce wanting to go after the title. There's a chance they add Roxanne in there, which would be a really cool wrinkle. The timing with Naomi, becoming pregnant, having to vacate the title, it's unfortunate from just the storyline. Yay for her and baby, that's awesome. But from the storyline now, that makes WWE have to pivot here. And it's an odd spot because they got to do something with Stephanie and Io to make this match feel like something big. Adding Roxanne in there, I think it is a good extra layer because you do have some animosity between Io and Roxanne. And she's a good heel and not just to have a Io Stephanie face versus face match, especially when these two haven't really gone at it and there's no story between the two of them. I think Roxanne added in there for a triple threat could really work. If they do go with just the straight up Io versus Stephanie, I think it will be an awesome match. I think the wrestling match will be great. And sometimes that's all you need is just have a banger match and everything works out. But do you put the belt back on Io? Do you roll with Stephanie as a brand new champion? She was gonna get the match at Clash against Naomi. I would have said if that match happened, I still would have said Naomi retains. Stephanie, they've done nothing with her. Like she's backstage. Put her on TV. What is with WWE and not having people wrestle. It's like if you're the lower card, you wrestle every week. You're a tag team person, you wrestle every week. Are you a star that they have plans for or that is in the main event scene? You don't wrestle. You do promos and you do backstage things and then you wrestle at PLEs and that's it. I don't get it sometimes. Stephanie Vaquero, if you were trying to build her up as the next big superstar and the crowd loves her, you're not featuring her. Why isn't she having a match against Roxanne? Judgment Day. Anybody. Secret Hervis. Like anybody to showcase what she can do, rack up wins to gain momentum, because WWE loves their momentum matches, into this Wrestlepalooza. I'm sure they will do stuff over the next couple of weeks to build it. But man, you got a vacated title. Stephanie should just be like having aggression, being more front and center, being a focal point, having matches. She's #1 contender. Or people trying to go after her to take her down, to beat her down because she is #1 contender. I think that you give the belt to Io and she runs with it again, even for a short period of time. Transitional champion, people love Io Sky. It won't hurt. She was the champion before Naomi. It still can work even for a short run, because then I think they get to Crown Jewel Perth, Australia. And to me, that's where you do Rhea versus Io one-on-one. There's no Naomi cash in there. Redo the Evolution match again. And Rhea finally overcomes Io. She gets the win over Io and gets her title back. And they do it in Australia, so it's a big Australian celebration for Rhea Ripley. That match, maybe you do add in a Stephanie Vaquero to make that a triple threat. They love their triple threats. But Io, I think she walks away with the world title, just because they're not doing anything with Stephanie for this. Now, a match I'd like to see, I feel like based on Raw, it could go that way, and this is the big ESPN WWE debut, a new app and a new service and a new $30 you got to spend every month. I think that they want to beef up this PLE as much as they can, almost in the realm of a mini WrestleMania, SummerSlam, because they just want a ton of news, a ton of buzz. They want people to buy it. They want to gain subscribers right away. So you need a lot of star power. And that's where I think, because we're going to get Brock on the show, you got Cody coming back to get on the show. But the other one I think they do, the Usos. I think you get an Usos tag team reunion. It's been a while since they've tagged together. And you have them going up against Dog Barker and Tsunami Man. Braun Brothers. Braun Breaker and the Braun Bronson Reed. Braun. Because at Clash in Paris, you had Braun and Bronson. They decimated Roman Reigns. Jey Uso got involved. He got taken out. He got the rib tape. He's still rocking that. That's cool. Jimmy came out at the end of Raw to help out Jey. I think that's what they end up doing. Otherwise, you end up with maybe LA Knight and Jey Uso tagging to go up against Braun and Bronson, and that doesn't really work. They want to see more star power. You put the Usos back together. Give them their old theme together, their old tag theme. That's great. Day one-ish. Throw that in there. I love to see the heels go over. Bronson Reed lost the match at Clash, and arguably he needed that more than Roman needed to win, but it's Roman Reigns, and you know, beating Roman Reigns is going to be a rare thing. And they did win in the post-match angle and the beatdown, which is great. Here I think the Braun brothers they could beat up on Jimmy and Jey, and if they did and they lay him out, like lay out Jimmy with a ton of... Oh, I just realized what they're probably going to do. Hold on a second. They are probably going to have Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker destroy the Usos at Wrestlepalooza and write Jimmy off because of Baby with Naomi. That's probably what is actually going to happen there. That's my prediction. And then, yeah, they look super strong. The Vision looks even stronger. And you end up with Roman Reigns eventually coming back because he's been written off. He gets back involved to then maybe go into War Games or a one-on-one match with Braun Breaker. But hey, would you like to see Usos coming back? I would. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Now, I mentioned Roman Reigns. Yeah, he got totally decimated at Clash in Paris. The stretcher, the multiple tsunamis. I love the angle they did there with Roman, but I do think that they have now written him right off for several months. I think he comes back at Survivor Series. It's kind of like him and Cody, they're kind of just trading schedules, it feels like. Cody's been off for a couple of weeks due to the filming of movies, and I think now Roman's going to be off because he's doing that, and then Cody comes back, so they kind of alternate there a little bit for just keeping the star power. Next match prediction, ladies and gentlemen, small one, but you know what, if they're going to load up this card, I think they need to do more than 5 matches. Maybe they'll give us 6 matches, maybe they'll do 7 matches, but they got to time it right. Clash was something like 4 hours, wasn't it? I didn't even really pay attention to the time, but then I looked back and I was like, yeah, this seems like a 4-hour show. It does not need to be a 4-hour show. But another match they could add, because we saw a little bit of this on Raw. We could see AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano one-on-one at Wrestlepalooza. Maybe you add in Dom for the IC title, but El Grande is helping out Dom a ton. Give Give us AJ Styles at a PLE and El Grande. It could be a 10-minute match, something fun. You could have Dirty Dom get involved to screw over AJ Styles. But you need those breather matches. Like, they gave us Street Profits versus Wyatts at Clash, which I felt was not needed. I don't think it was necessary to be on a PLE. That could have easily been on SmackDown, and you could have had AJ and Dom in Paris at the PLE, but they didn't. I think here it's kind of like that. Let's give the fans AJ Styles, El Grande, put on a fun match, and you need that little bit of a breather between everything. I was trying to think too of like Charlotte and Alexa Bliss with the tag titles, and I'm thinking again Star Power. Would they want them on the show? I don't know what they would do other than fighting Secret Service or Kabuki Warriors, or they want to do a multi-woman tag team match for the tag titles. With a couple of weeks to go, sure, they could build it up. I don't necessarily see it though for the tag titles. The other match that I think they could put on there, and again, not to say that it's filler, but the first match didn't really gel for me that much. And I'm talking about Tiffany Stratton versus Jade, maybe even versus Nia Jax, triple threat. There's way too many triple threat examples in here. I apologize, but I just feel like WWE's like, let's cram people in there. But if it's even Jade versus Tiffany in a rematch, or it is a triple threat, could be good. I think you gotta get the title off of Tiffany. It feels dead in the water. Jade versus Tiffany one-on-one did nothing for me at SummerSlam, and that the fact that they're still going with this doesn't feel exciting, and I don't feel very into it. That might even be just something they want to do on SmackDown before they do Wrestlepalooza. And then the final match I got down here is going to be the mixed tag team match. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee and CM Punk. Everything seems to be pointing towards AJ Lee returning, or the time you're watching this, maybe she hasn't even returned, and maybe it's already happened. Punk is supposed to show up on SmackDown, and then maybe AJ Lee's gonna come back there, and that's gonna set up that match. Again, massive star power, having AJ Lee coming back. It makes all the sense in the world. The crowd is completely into it in Paris, where they're chanting for AJ Lee. It only makes sense that they do this. I think maybe it could lead to a Survivor Series match, where you got the Vision on one side and Punk, AJ Lee, and others like Jay, Jimmy, maybe Roman, some combination in there, going for War Games in a mixed gender War Games match. Wrestlepalooza, totally think that that is going to be the mixed tag match. That could even be the main event. They're trying really hard to keep Seth the world title. That is the A story right now. It really is, honestly, because you have Cody off. He's fighting Drew. That's great. Cody isn't around. Roman, he's written off, so he's not even in like a main line story. Punk and Seth is the story, and elevating the world title, put that tag team match in the main event. But those are my early predictions for Wrestlepalooza. What do you have on your list? Let me know in the comments below. And guys, if you want to talk about AJ Lee a little bit more, we got this video right here going in depth about everything that we could see happen with her return. Have a great day. See ya.